What if I told you that the drink you choose 30 to 60 minutes before intimate activity could be the difference between disappointing performance and the kind of firmness and staying power you thought was gone forever? Most men have no idea that certain beverages trigger such powerful vascular responses that blood flow can increase by 200% or more within an hour of consumption. The drink I'm about to reveal isn't exotic, it's not expensive, and it's sitting in grocery stores right now waiting for you to discover its remarkable power. Hello everyone, I'm Dr. Charlotte Hayes, and today we're going to explore something that pharmaceutical companies absolutely don't want you to know about. We're talking about specific drinks that force your blood vessels to dilate, enhance nitric oxide production, and create the optimal physiological conditions for maximum performance. These aren't energy drinks or stimulants. These are targeted vascular enhancers that work with your body's natural mechanisms to produce effects that rival or even exceed what many men get from prescriptions. The number one drink you need to know about is beetroot juice. And before you dismiss this as too simple or too strange, let me explain the extraordinary science behind why this works so powerfully. Beetroot juice is one of the most potent natural sources of dietary nitrates, and these nitrates are the key to understanding its remarkable effects on vascular function and male performance. When you consume beetroot juice, the nitrates are absorbed in your digestive tract. These nitrates then undergo a conversion process in your body where they're transformed into nitric oxide. Nitric oxide is the master signaling molecule that controls vasodilation. When nitric oxide levels increase, the smooth muscle in your arterial walls relaxes, causing the blood vessels to widen dramatically. This widening allows significantly more blood to flow through the vessels. And in the context of male function, this means dramatically enhance to achieve and maintain firmness. The research on beetroot juice and vascular function is extensive and compelling. Multiple studies have shown that consuming beetroot juice significantly increases nitric oxide bioavailability and produces measurable improvements in blood flow. One study found that drinking beetroot juice reduced blood pressure and improved endothelial function within just 2 to 3 hours, with effects lasting up to 12 hours. Another study specifically looked at male performance and found that men who consume beetroot juice before activity experience significant improvements in firmness, quality, duration, and overall satisfaction. The timing of consumption is crucial for optimal effects. The conversion of nitrates to nitric oxide takes time, and peak nitric oxide levels occur approximately 60 to 90 minutes after consuming beetroot juice. This means you want to drink your beetroot juice about 1 hour before anticipated activity. This timing ensures that nitric oxide production is at its peak precisely when you need maximum blood flow. The amount matters as well. Research suggests that approximately 250 to 500 milliliters of beetroot juice, which is roughly 8 to 16 ounces, provides optimal nitrate dosing for vascular benefits. You can use fresh beetroot juice that you make yourself with a juicer, or you can use commercial beetroot juice products. If using commercial products, make sure they're pure beetroot juice without added sugars or artificial ingredients, as these additions can actually impair the vascular benefits. Some men find the earthy taste of pure beetroot juice challenging. If this is the case for you, you can mix it with other juices to improve palatability. Apple juice, orange juice, or ginger can all be added to beetroot juice without significantly diminishing its vascular benefits. The key is maintaining a high proportion of beetroot juice in the mixture, at least 75% beetroot to 25% other juices. Now let's talk about the second powerful drink option, which is pomegranate juice. Pomegranate has been associated with male virility and fertility for thousands of years across multiple cultures, and modern science is revealing exactly why this ancient wisdom is accurate. Pomegranate juice is extraordinarily rich in antioxidants, particularly polyphenols called punasins that have profound effects on vascular health and nitric oxide production. The mechanism by which pomegranate juice enhances function is multifaceted. First, the polyphenols protect nitric oxide from oxidative degradation. Nitric oxide is naturally broken down by free radicals and reactive oxygen species in your bloodstream. The powerful antioxidants in pomegranate juice neutralize these free radicals, which means the nitric oxide your body produces remains active longer and exerts stronger effects on vasodilation. Second, pomegranate juice improves endothelial function. The endothelium is the inner lining of your blood vessels, and it's responsible for producing nitric oxide. When endothelial function is impaired, nitric oxide production decreases. The compounds in pomegranate juice support endothelial health and enhance the cell's ability to produce nitric oxide efficiently. Third, pomegranate juice has direct vasodilatory effects independent of nitric oxide. Some of the polyphenols in pomegranate can directly relax smooth muscle in arterial walls, creating vasodilation through multiple pathways simultaneously. This multi-mechanism approach makes pomegranate juice particularly effective. Research on pomegranate juice and male function has shown impressive results. One landmark study followed men with mild to moderate functional difficulties who drank pomegranate juice daily for 4 weeks. At the end of the study, 47% of the men reported improvements in their ability to achieve firmness, with some men reporting that function was restored to levels they hadn't experienced in years. The optimal dose of pomegranate juice is approximately 200 to 300 milliliters, roughly 7 to 10 ounces, consumed 30 to 60 minutes before activity. For cumulative benefits, drinking pomegranate juice daily, even on days when you're not anticipating activity, progressively improves baseline vascular function over time. Quality matters significantly with pomegranate juice. You want pure pomegranate juice, not pomegranate-flavored drinks or blends with high sugar content. Pure pomegranate juice has a tart, slightly astringent flavor due to its high polyphenol content. If you find a pomegranate juice that tastes very sweet without any tartness, it's likely been diluted or had sugar added, which reduces its vascular benefits. Let's discuss the third powerful drink, which is watermelon juice. Watermelon might seem like an unlikely candidate for enhancing male function, but it contains a compound called citrine that makes it remarkably effective. Citrine is an amino acid that your body converts into arginine, which is then used to produce nitric oxide. This conversion pathway makes watermelon juice an excellent precursor for nitric oxide production. The advantage of citrine over direct arginine supplementation is significant. When you consume arginine directly, much of it gets broken down by the enzyme arginase in your intestines and liver before it can be used for nitric oxide production. But citrine bypasses this degradation. It's absorbed intact, converted to arginine in your kidneys. And this arginine is then available throughout your body for nitric oxide synthesis. This makes citrine from watermelon a more efficient pathway for boosting nitric oxide than consuming arginine directly. Research has shown that watermelon juice consumption significantly increases arginine levels and improves vascular function. One study found that drinking watermelon juice for 2 weeks improved blood flow and reduced arterial stiffness. Another study specifically looked at men with mild functional difficulties and found that those who consumed watermelon juice experienced improvements in firmness and overall satisfaction. The optimal approach is to use fresh watermelon juice made from the entire fruit, including the white rind, as the rind is particularly high in citrine. Use approximately 3 to 4 cups of cubed watermelon with rind to make about 16 oz of juice. Drink this 30 to 60 minutes before activity for optimal effects. The conversion of citrulline to arginine and then to nitric oxide takes time, so advanced consumption is important. Some men prefer to consume watermelon juice daily for cumulative benefits rather than just before activity. Daily. Consumption progressively increases baseline arginine and nitric oxide levels, which supports better ongoing function. Watermelon juice is naturally sweet and refreshing, making it easy to incorporate into a daily routine. Now let's talk about tart cherry juice, which has unique benefits for male function that go beyond just vascular effects. Tarty cherry juice is exceptionally high in antioxidants and anti-inflammatory compounds, particularly anthocyanins. These compounds improve vascular health by reducing inflammation and oxidative stress in blood vessel walls. But tart cherry juice has an additional benefit that's particularly relevant for intimate activity. It's one of the few natural sources of melatonin. And while you might think of melatonin only as a sleep aid, it actually has important effects on vascular function and nitric oxide production. Melatonin acts as an antioxidant that specifically protects nitric oxide from degradation. Similar to the polyphenols in pomegranate juice, tart cherry juice also helps reduce muscle soreness and supports recovery, which can be beneficial if physical stamina during intimate activity is a concern. The anti-inflammatory compounds help reduce muscle fatigue and support better overall physical performance. For pre-activity consumption, drink approximately 8 to 12 ounces of pure tart cherry juice about 45 to 90 minutes beforehand. The timing is less critical than with beetroot juice because the vascular benefits come from multiple mechanisms rather than a single timed conversion process. Tart cherry juice can also be consumed in the evening, several hours before bedtime, to support overnight vascular health and hormone production, while also promoting better sleep quality. Let's discuss green tea as the fifth powerful drink option, though its mechanism of action is somewhat different from the others we've discussed. Green tea doesn't provide direct nitric oxide precursors like beetroot or watermelon juice. Instead, it works by improving endothelial function and protecting the vascular system from oxidative damage. The cacoins in green tea, particularly epigallocatechin gallate, enhance the ability of endothelial cells to produce nitric oxide. They do this by protecting the enzyme that produces nitric oxide from oxidative inactivation and by improving the sensitivity of blood vessels to nitric oxide signaling. This means the nitric oxide your body produces works more effectively. Green tea also contains L-theanine, an amino acid that promotes calm, focused alertness. This mental state is conducive to arousal and performance. L-theanine works synergistically with the small amount of caffeine in green tea to provide mental clarity without anxiety or jitters, which can interfere with function. For pre-activity use, brew strong green tea using about 3 teaspoons of high-quality loose leaf green tea per cup. Steep for 3 to 5 minutes in water that's around 175 degrees. Drink 1 to 2 cups about 30 to 60 minutes before activity. The combination of vascular support and mental clarity creates favorable conditions for optimal performance. Now, let's talk about creating combination drinks that leverage multiple mechanisms simultaneously for even more powerful effects. The most effective combination is what I call the triple nitric oxide booster, which combines beetroot juice, watermelon juice, and pomegranate juice in optimal ratios. Mix together 8 ounces of beetroot juice, 6 oz of watermelon juice, and 4 oz of pomegranate juice. This creates an 18-ounce drink that provides dietary nitrates from the beetroot, citrine from the watermelon, and antioxidant protection for nitric oxide from the pomegranate. The synergistic effect of these 3 components is significantly greater than any single juice alone. Drink this combination approximately 60 minutes before activity. The multiple pathways for enhancing nitric oxide production and protecting existing nitric oxide create a powerful cascade of vascular effects. Many men report that this combination produces the strongest and most reliable results they've experienced from any natural intervention. Another effective combination is what I call the endothelial health blend, which combines pomegranate juice and green tea. Brew 2 cups of strong green tea and allow it to cool to room temperature. Mix the cooled tea with 8 ounces of pomegranate juice and add ice if desired. This combination provides both the immediate vascular support from pomegranate and the endothelial function enhancement from green tea. Let's discuss the role of hydration status and the effectiveness of these drinks. Even the most powerful vasodilating beverages can't work optimally if you're dehydrated. Blood volume depends on adequate hydration, and reduced blood volume directly impairs your ability to achieve firmness. Regardless of how dilated your blood vessels are, for optimal results, ensure you're well hydrated before consuming any of these performance-enhancing drinks. Drink at least 16 to 24 ounces of plain water in the few hours leading up to when you'll drink your pre-activity beverage. This ensures adequate blood volume to support the increased blood flow that these drinks create. However, avoid drinking large amounts of water in the 30 to 60 minutes immediately before activity, as this can create a distracting need to urinate. The goal is to be well hydrated going into your pre-activity window. Then consume your chosen performance beverage, and then avoid excessive fluid intake right before activity. Now, let's address the temperature consideration because it actually matters whether you consume these drinks cold or at room temperature. Cold beverages can cause temporary vasoconstriction as your body responds to the cold stimulus. While this effect is brief and shouldn't significantly impact the overall vascular benefits of the drinks, some men find that room temperature or slightly warm beverages produce more immediate and noticeable effects. For beetroot juice, watermelon juice, and pomegranate juice, room temperature is optimal. For green tea, warm or hot is fine and may actually enhance the absorption of cacans. For combination drinks, room temperature or slightly cool but not ice cold tends to work best. Let's talk about the dose-response relationship and whether more is better. With these vascular enhancing beverages, there's an optimal dose range where benefits are maximized. Below this range, the effects are suboptimal. Above this range, you don't get proportionally greater benefits, and you may actually experience diminishing returns or even negative effects. For beetroot juice, the optimal range is 8 to 16 ounces. More than this doesn't produce greater vascular benefits and may cause digestive discomfort in some men. For pomegranate juice, 7 to 10 ounces is optimal. For watermelon juice, 12 to 16 ounces provides good effects. More than these amounts won't enhance results and adds unnecessary sugar and calories. The timing window is also important to understand. These drinks don't work like pharmaceutical options where you take them and effects begin within 30 minutes. The vascular changes take time to develop as compounds are absorbed, converted, and begin affecting blood vessel function. The general rule is to consume your chosen beverage 60 minutes before activity with an acceptable range of 45 to 90 minutes depending on individual absorption and metabolism. Some men metabolize these compounds faster and notice peak effects closer to 45 minutes after consumption. Others metabolize more slowly and peak effects come closer to 90 minutes. Pay attention to your individual response and adjust your timing accordingly. Let's discuss the cumulative benefits of regular consumption versus acute pre-activity consumption. While these beverages produce measurable effects within hours of consumption, regular daily consumption creates progressive improvements in baseline vascular function that make acute effects even more pronounced. Men who drink beetroot juice or pomegranate juice daily for several weeks typically experience improvements in their baseline function even without timing consumption before activity. Their blood vessels become more responsive. Their endothelial function improves, and their overall vascular health is enhanced. Then when they do time consumption before activity, the acute effects are amplified by the improved baseline function. This suggests an optimal strategy of daily consumption of one of these beverages for ongoing vascular support, plus strategic consumption of larger amounts or combinations when activity is anticipated. For instance, you might drink 8 ounces of pomegranate juice every morning for general health. Then consume the triple nitric oxide booster combination an hour before anticipated activity. Now, let's address some potential concerns and contraindications. Beetroot juice can temporarily cause red coloration in urine and stools, which is harmless, but can be alarming if you're not expecting it. This discoloration typically resolves within 24 to 48 hours and has no health significance. Men taking medications for high blood pressure should use caution with beetroot juice, as it can further lower blood pressure. The combination of blood pressure medication plus the blood pressure lowering effects of beetroot juice could potentially cause blood pressure to drop too low. If you're on blood pressure medication, monitor your blood pressure when starting beetroot juice and consult with your healthcare provider. Men taking medications for diabetes should be aware that fruit juices, including pomegranate and watermelon juice, contain natural sugars that affect blood glucose. Monitor your blood sugar levels and account for the carbohydrate content of these juices in your overall dietary management. Men with kidney disease should consult their healthcare provider before consuming large amounts of potassium-rich juices like pomegranate or watermelon juice, as impaired kidney function affects potassium handling and high potassium intake could be problematic. Let's talk about quality and sourcing, which significantly impacts the effectiveness of these drinks. For maximum benefits, use organic produce when making fresh juices to avoid pesticide residues that could impair vascular function. For commercial juices, choose products that are 100% juice with no added sugars, preservatives, or artificial ingredients. For beetroot juice. Specifically, some commercial products are designed specifically for athletic performance and contain higher concentrations of nitrates than standard beetroot juice. These concentrated beetroot shots can be effective and convenient, requiring only a few ounces for full benefits. Finally, let's discuss realistic expectations. These beverages are not magic solutions that will instantly restore youthful function regardless of other health factors. They're powerful tools that support optimal vascular function, but they work best as part of a comprehensive approach to male health. That said, many men experience dramatic improvements from these drinks alone, particularly if vascular issues are the primary cause of their functional difficulties. Most men notice some improvement from their first use of these strategic beverages, with effects becoming more pronounced and reliable with continued use. The combination of immediate vascular effects and cumulative health benefits makes these drinks one of the most effective natural interventions available for enhancing male function. Thanks for watching today. If you found this valuable, please subscribe for more evidence-based strategies for optimizing your health. Until next time, this is Dr. Charlotte Hayes, reminding you that sometimes the most powerful solutions are also the simplest and most natural.